Hey guys, it's Rachel from the Little Ring Lamb. Today's my Tlrl Watch 1.4. Today we're discussing the last half of Felicity Season 2. I'm going to link all my other videos in this series down the down bar. And basically, if you're new to this video or don't really know what I'm talking about, I started this Tlrl Watch Club and basically watch half a season of Felicity each month. It started in May, I believe. Yes, May. Dates are just floating in my head. And it ends in December, so it's never too late to join in, especially because TV is pretty easy to catch up on. And we're starting from episode 12, the slump, going all the way to episode 23, the biggest deal there is. I forgot there was 23 episodes in this season, so we watched the bulk of the episodes in this season in August. So before I get more into this episode, I just want to say, instead of saying Megan, I kept saying Amanda because the actress is Amanda Foreman, and I keep thinking her name in the show is also Amanda. So that's where I'm getting the Amanda from. So whenever you hear Amanda in this, just think Megan. I'm sorry about this for confusion-wise, but it's because of the actress's name. I'm getting them mixed up and thinking like her actual name's Megan and the character's name's Amanda. So whenever I say Amanda, I mean Megan, and we'll proceed now with the video. I'll be going through my notes on each episode, and these aren't synopsises of the episode. They're just little thoughts I had, and some I don't put every single thought I have, but I have like the main ones. And then I'm going to be telling you my top 3 episodes, the one to skip, and then my concluding question. So, also, I will tell you the episode name and the number before I get into the kind of notes I have. So in case you've only watched up to episode 15, you won't be spoiled on anything that happens in later episodes. So, with that all said, let's start with Felicity, episode 12, The Slump. So I said, OMG, Tracy is being introduced into the series, and I really like his character, and I really think he's a strong... he's a strong force for like Elena, because Elena is very strong and he kind of is softer, but he's still strong, and I think he's a good match for Elena. 24 minutes to 26 minutes. This therapist is actually getting to the core. I like her. I really love this therapist character. Also, if I'm looking down at my phone, that's where I have my notes, just FYI. I like the Ben and Felicity moments in this episode. I ship Tracy and Elena. This Nolan Ruby storyline, TA and student, is so unrealistic and boring. I didn't like that she was going to transfer out because it was, like, not, I don't know, I forget what necessarily is happening in it, but it just, like, she couldn't be his student because they're dating, and that's, like even when he's marking her papers, like, oh yeah, it was the marking the papers. With marking the papers and stuff like that, like, he can't be privy to that because obviously he has bias. I'm not saying that obviously the character would have bias for sure, but it just... for security reasons why he wouldn't be able to do that. So I didn't really like that storyline because I feel like since you're marking the papers, you shouldn't be it's like when for example, if a prof had their son or daughter in the class, they couldn't mark their papers because that, like, obviously they'll have bias towards their own, you know? I didn't really like that storyline. And then I said the pregnancy maybe bombshell for Ruby and Noel. And then I said, is Ben only the basketball... I said that really weird, like with a weird accent, sound like a Boston accent a bit. Maybe not a Boston accent, I don't know what accent. Is Ben only at the basketball court all day and night? Felicity only goes to see him there, not even his apartment. Like, he was there the whole episode, and it, like, went through a lot of different times. Like, it was, like, the whole day, and I was like, was he just there the whole day? Episode 13, Truth and Consequences. So I said, yay, the therapist is back, because I enjoy her character. And then I said, Ben is so whiny about the punishment, yet it could be so much worse. Like, he's whining so much, but it's like, you could have literally have got expelled from school. Why are you whining? Like, yeah, community service is a drag, but you did something bad and it has consequences, so stop whining. And then I said Noel's being realistic, but it's not really the time, from 13 minutes to 14 minutes and 15 seconds. And I said this whole abortion storyline is done well. I think, like, in my opinion, I feel like it's done well, but I have not gone through that situation, and I have not seen a lot of episodes of modern day TV where they deal with the topic, so I don't know if it's handled good or bad, but I feel like it's a good representation of it because it has multiple perspectives. They don't just have one perspective. You have the perspective from somebody who's adopted. You have the perspective from, oh, this person's just a student. You have the choice. Like, everything's kind of included. You get all different perspectives, and I think even if you are pro-choice or you're not against that, like, no matter what you feel about abortion, I feel like it covers all the areas, and I feel like if you're a reasonable person, not being rude, because, like, I'm not saying, like, you have to think of it a certain way, but if you're a reasonable, you know, person who can see other sides of the area, like, I have my own beliefs when it comes to that, but I can see all the perspectives, and if somebody picks a perspective I don't agree with, I would be like, oh, I think they should do that, but I wouldn't say that, and I wouldn't act like what they picked was wrong, which I really enjoy, because like most people, even like no matter what you feel about the argument, because I've had it a lot in my classes, because in philosophy classes that is a topic, especially when it comes to oh my gosh, bioethics, which I took 2 of those classes, so we had lots of debates about that, and some people in my class perspectives and some of the works we read, I didn't agree with their perspectives, but I think it's well-rounded that whatever perspective you do believe, you can like see the good in all the choice, like not the good in all the choices, but like see the value in all choices. That's what I'm, going with. Sorry if that was very convoluted. And then I said, way to tell your friend's secret to your therapist, Felicity. And by friend, I meant Ruby's. 35 minutes starts Felicity's good pep talk to Noel. I really like that moment between them, because you don't see very many friendship moments between them as much anymore. You see a few, but obviously not as many as in the first season. Episode 14, True Colors. So I said at least Noel's being honest with Ruby. He's usually not that honest, especially with his girlfriends thus far. He's never been honest with Hannah and Felicity. Like, he kind of jerks them around, so I do respect that he's becoming a more honest character. And then I said 4 minutes and 30 seconds. I love seeing these girl chat scenes between Elena, Felicity, and Julie. And I said the baby isn't Noel's OMG. And then I said, does Megan have a crush on Greg? And Greg was also introduced in this episode, or was it episode before? And I said funny dance party at 23 minutes, when they were all, stripping off the wallpaper. And then I said this party went from fun to awkward fast when Noel walked in, they were all talking about him, and then he, told that it wasn't his child. And then I said Sean and Julie's friendship is great in this episode, and I really like Ben and Noel's friendship in this episode as well. Episode 15, Things Change. So Javier in this beginning scene is great. I really loved his beginning scenes. He had quite a few of them where he was in the beginning of a few of these episodes in this section of the show, and I really enjoyed them. He's one of my favorite characters. I just love how positive and enthusiastic he is, and how he really cares about the characters. Or like people, but like to us, they're characters. And then I said I love the Amanda's crush on Greg storyline, because it's very out of character. We haven't seen her be that vulnerable. Ruby transferring tutorial should have come before this because she was dating Noel, her TA, which I already discussed. Ben's date seemed to go really well, which was a good scene. I liked seeing him with somebody that wasn't in the core cast, who actually seemed like it was the appropriate time, and it was a different person, so it was interesting to see. And then I said Tracy's post-test celebration at 24 minutes was funny, and Tracy and Elena are so cute. And then I said, Ben, enter the room and tell Felicity how you feel. Like, finally. Episode 16, Revolutions. So this opening scene is hilarious, and I said I was wondering if Berkey was ever going to make a reappearance, and he made his reappearance between 3 minutes and 3 minutes and 48 seconds. I like Felicity's health center storylines in general throughout this little arc in this season. I'm impressed with Berkey's initiative and rallying people to come to the sit-in. Like, he was very impressed with that for being like kind of seen as a more annoying side character. He had a lot of initiative, which was really cool to see. I like when Ben and Noel are friends. And then I said 23 minutes to 15. Aren't those Julie's old roommates from the beginning of the season, the cheerleaders? I wasn't 100% sure. I said I really loved how they sang the song We Shall Not Be Moved. Julie was very eloquent on the news. I really love that, moment with her. And I said, yay, the protest was a success. They got what they wanted. And Felicity better watch out for Megan after kissing Greg. Moving on to episode 17, Documentary 2. So I said another great opening scene. I love these documentary episodes in general. I just really love how Sean and now Richard are kind of working together to, uncover the secrets. And I just really love their kind of friendship, and then the documentary thing with it. It gives Sean another storyline to be with the group, and it also tethers Richard in, who's another one of my favorite characters. And I said also under this, like in my notes, I said I like how Richard is Sean's somewhat assistant. I like Greg's new haircut. He definitely had a drastic haircut. And I said Greg was busted on a drug charge, question mark, question mark, question mark. I said I don't ship Felicity and Greg at all. 21 to 22 minutes was a very funny scene. And Jim should have got it. I'm glad Felicity lobbied. So Jim should have got the health center job, and I'm glad Felicity lobbied for him to get the job because he is more qualified. He was there longer. And Felicity is right. She doesn't deserve special treatment, especially because she was only there because she was in trouble. Like, this guy's worked so hard, and I was really happy that she did lobby for him and didn't just sit back and accept the job. Episode 18, Party Lines. So I said more documentary, yay. It was kind of a continuation episode in a way. I really like this school counselor, which I mentioned before. Also, some of my notes are kind of repetitive because I do obviously film this or write these notes throughout the month, and I don't look back on them really till this video. I really like I like the Megan Crush storyline. Richard's presidential speech is amazing. His Pizza Fridays. Elena's right in this argument at 25 minutes, I believe. And then I said I like the Ben internships. Oh, this is why. I think it was because Tracy was going to take this other girl to dance. He's like, oh, I can just go cancel. And I think Elena was right. Like, you can't just cancel when somebody accepts, like, the last minute. It's really rude. And I said I like the Ben internship storyline. Ben's really good with that kid. I forget what the kid's name is. And then I said it's student government, Greg, and it's not like you've been dating for years. It'd be more of a betrayal. Like if Felicity ran, like he's acting like all crazy, but it's like if she doesn't believe in your platform, you haven't been dating that long. If you've been dating long term, I see more of an argument towards like, why would you do this to me when you know I really want it? But they just started dating. She has different views and inspired her to run. And like, if you feel so passionate about your words and you feel that, like, it's kind of a crappy thing to do, but I get what, like, it's not like a friend or somebody she's known a long time. It's brand new. But like, if you feel very passionate about your things, like your beliefs, and you feel like people will go with you, she shouldn't be a threat, you know? It might be different if I might have a different position if they were together for a long time or they were really close friends. Like if me and my best friend ran against, like if I was running a campaign and she was running against me, I might feel a little bit differently because we're so close and it's like, you know, I really want this and like you're kind of, you know, going around me. But like we've been friends for 10 years, so it's a little bit different than her and Greg who just met. But still, like, I couldn't really limit what my friend does. So, just like Greg can't limit what Felicity does no matter what. You don't have to like it, but you can't limit it. And I said I don't like how Greg bosses Felicity around. He tends to do that quite a bit. Tracy, and it's like fine in the health center because he is her boss, but like not outside. Tracy and Elena are so cute at the dance. And I said at 41 minutes and 10 seconds that Ben and Felicity stare though. Episode 19, Running Mates. I said Javier is such a good friend, handing out posters and supporting Felicity with all those coupons. I like how Richard is getting a big storyline with this election plot. I hate Greg, but his arrest didn't deserve to be leaked to the press. That was kind of a shady move. As much as I hate him, I didn't agree with that. And I said I forgot that Richard co-won the election. And that was all my notes. It was very short for that episode because I was more watching than taking notes. Episode 20, Ben Was Here. A continuation of last week's episode. I still don't, like a direct one, like right to the minute. I still don't ship Felicity and Greg. Ben's here to stir up trouble where Felicity and Greg were kind of going to this like bed and breakfast and it was kind of trying to be romantic and he showed up. Sean's a good friend taking Ben's shift and letting Ben answer his phone even though Ben took his phone but not getting angry at it. Is Julie crushing on Noel, I asked. I like Sean and Javier's interactions in this episode. I thought Elena and Tracy were just friends, see, because they kind of broke up in the last episode and now they're acting very lovey. I like how they all have to stay in the loft. I wanted Felicity to forgive Ben. And I said awkward Sean and Julie kiss, but yay for the documentary getting sold. Amanda is so funny in this episode. And I said no, Felicity, don't walk away from Ben. Let Amanda have Greg, ... Episode 21, the Aretha theory. At least Greg is smart enough to realize what's going on and make his involvement null and void in the opening scene by breaking up with Felicity because he knows what's going on. He knows he's not being used, but he knows he's just a placeholder. Felicity and Co going with Megan. This will be a disaster, lol, like when they're going clubbing with Megan. I love how Javier is Ben's wingman. Yay, Ben and Felicity are talking finally. Then I said, OMG, Megan already knew Greg from her childhood. I completely forgot about that bombshell because if you don't know, I'm rewatching these episodes. I like how the Julie and Noel flirtation left after Ruby came back. Like, what? Like, it was so random. Like, I know obviously Noel has his thing with Ruby, but it kind of like, I didn't know if it was ever going to come back. I said, yay, Javier is engaged. And I said that was a sweet gesture Ben did with the film for Felicity by bringing the film canister that he missed at the beginning of this season. And I said, yay for Ben and Felicity. Episode 22, final answer. So I said, I wish they all lived in the loft together longer. It's probably not the best time to start a relationship during exam season. And then I said, take the opportunity. Ben will still be there. Like, I think Felicity should have took the internship. Like, Ben will still be there. It's brand new, too. Like, a new relationship. And if it's going to stand, it's going to stand. If it's not, it's going to fold. I said, I'm happy Ben was understanding at 13 minutes. I like how Amanda is now more integrated in the core friend group because she is one of my favorite characters. Because, first off, she's not like a lot of characters you see on TV. And I just find her very intriguing because, like, especially when we got to see her background more in the first season, and then you see how she acts, and, like, she puts on a tough exterior, but she's really soft on the inside. Like, I think that she's a very interesting character with lots of layers, and she's not like a typical character you'd see in a drama, I don't think. Like, I don't know. Like, especially the older dramas, maybe nowadays. And then I said, oh no, the smart cookies and Noel LOL, because the smart powder from last season had beet juice in it, or beet in it, and he's allergic to beets, so the smart cookies I assumed had the same thing. I said that was a horrible thing to do to Sean, Julie kissing Noel, especially in his loft when he just asked you out. And I said that was really kind of Felicity's prof to like let her have like write an essay instead of failing the exam. I'm sad to see Ruby leave. I started to really enjoy her character. And I said yay for Sean and Amanda. Episode 23, the biggest deal there is. So I said this therapist is the voice of reason. Then I said Wicca Camp. I completely forgot about Amanda's like Wicca Camp thing. Do I keep calling her Amanda? I keep calling Megan Amanda because the actress's name is Amanda. Like throughout this whole video. So I got to put a disclaimer at the beginning of this video. Oh my gosh. Sorry about that, guys. I kept writing it Amanda when I meant to put Megan. Like, jeepers. Then I said Julie's birth mom is back. Poor Julie, her father is sick. Awkward at 22 minutes, Felicity and Ben. Javier's wedding. And I said this is really nice, actually, TV wedding, like shot and everything. And they said yay for Sean and Megan, one of my favorites. So now to my favorite 3 episodes. I actually have 4. I kind of cheated. Episode 14, True Colors. Episode 17, Documentary Part 2. And episodes 22 and 23 of this season. I just think 22 and 23 go together, and I couldn't pick in between them. And then I said there's no episode to skip because there's certain storylines, with especially of Ruby's pregnancy and that abortion storyline, how that took more of the story. I wouldn't say that to skip, just because that issue I think is done really well in this show, but it wasn't the most exciting for me. So those are probably the most boring episodes, and maybe it's also because I've rewatched it, and this is a rewatch, and I don't know. I just like love when they're like being more fun. Like the happier times was kind of not dark for this show, but like it was a darker time, I guess, in the show. But I wouldn't skip those. So I really have nothing to skip this month. And then finally, my discussion question is, what topic in this show do you think has been dealt with very well? There's been so many topics. There's been the drug addiction, which was kind of not directly talked about in this show, but, you know, talked about. Abortion storyline. There's been religion over what you want storyline, like which one is going to weigh out balance. And so many more, cheating, everything. So I'd really love to know what your favorite storyline, and it could be from one of the earlier seasons, so definitely feel free to share. What has been a big topic that you've thought was tackled well, or maybe not tackled well? The opposite side of the coin can be definitely discussed. And I want to thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.